You're learning a lot about taxes, but maybe you're not convinced taxes are a big deal. I feel you. Maybe you're right. Maybe taxes aren't such a big deal. So let's run through a quick little example. Imagine you had an investment that doubled in value every single year. First of all, that would be amazing. But let's just say you had this investment. The first year, you start off by investing $1. And then at the end of the first year, it grows to $2. And then it grows to $4. And then $8. And then $16. At the end of 20 years, how much money do you think you would have? Well, it turns out this magical investment, you would end up with about $1 million. So the lesson is, try to find this investment. No, that's not the lesson. The lesson is, what are the impact of taxes? So now let's imagine we have this same magical investment that doubles every single year, but we also have a tax of, let's say 30% each year on the growth. So again, this investment doubles every year, and each year there's a 30% tax on the growth. So the question is, how much would you have at the end of 20 years? Without the tax, about $1 million. With this 30% tax each year, what do you think it would be? Most people say, well, without the tax, it's $1 million, 30%, I don't know, maybe $700,000. And if you said $700,000, you would be really wrong. It's not $700,000. It's actually $400,000. Now think about that. Just a 30% tax. Without it, over $1 million in your account. With that 30% tax, drops it down to 400. Really? Wait a second. Ooh, actually, I think I did a miscalculation here. You know what? You don't end up with $400,000. You end up with $40,000. It's unbelievable, I know. I went through this example with the professor of mathematics once. Didn't believe me. Thought I was insane, that I had miscalculated. I had to break out my laptop and actually open an Excel spreadsheet and run through the numbers with him. A 30% tax results in just a $40,000 account balance at the end of 20 years. This represents the power of taxes. If our goal is to build lasting wealth, it's really hard to do when we're forced to pay high tax. Because the difference in retirement with $1 million in your account versus $40,000, it's the difference between night and day, between a successful retirement and one that is far from successful. Can you see how taxes eat away at your wealth? And think about this, a 30% tax isn't even that high. The highest federal income tax is almost 40%, and that doesn't even include any state tax you might owe. So yes, taxes are a big deal indeed. If you aren't aware of them or aware of strategies to minimize them, you could be paying a whole lot more than you should. Your goal shouldn't be to read all 80,000 pages of the tax code or to even file your own taxes. Your goal should be to understand how insidious taxes are to building wealth and to make sure you have people on your team that are obsessed with minimizing your taxes.